Formula One, a sport that spans hearts, minds and nations, where the 20 best drivers in the world come together to take on some of the world's most historic circuits. And that legacy continues today. The 2021 championship was thrilling from start to finish, and 2022 is set to be even better. New regulations will usher in an age of pioneering changes. New driving talent alongside returning champions will be dueling it out to the bitter end. The pressure will be on the team principals in the upcoming season as they manage their drivers, their cars and the whole team to push to victory. This is not a challenge for the faint-hearted. This is Formula One.
What is up, everybody? It's Dinosaur coming at you today, and today is a very special day because it is my first time playing F1 Manager 22, and I am so excited to get this video out to you guys. My first race on it was super fun. I had one glitch and I had to restart the entire race, but I still enjoyed the second race. I have nothing but praise for this game so far. Yeah, it was super fun to play. I would definitely suggest that you guys get it at home. And yeah, let's jump right in. I am going to be using Red Bull because that's my favorite team. Sue me. But I did check Ferrari to see what their staff performance was, and somehow it's first. So I don't know what F1 Manager is doing. But sure. I'll let them have that. Anyway, so we're going to go with my actual first name, which is Dino. That is my actual first name. And my last name is not Dinosaur. Obviously. I would not have my last name as my YouTube channel. Anyway, continuing on, we're going to start our career as the team principal of Red Bull. So bye-bye, Christian Horner. You will be missed. And here we go. So this is just me getting like an introduction to the main menu and everything that's going on. So as you can see, I'm responding to emails, circuit info, I'm setting goals for the race, I'm checking the calendar. Yeah, here I am doing the goals. So this is very interesting. You can guarantee that you get something, and if you do get it, you get a bigger cash prize, but there's also a bigger loss if you don't get it. So we're going to guarantee that we're going to make Q3.
Welcome to the archipelago of Formula One. Bahrain might have a small land footprint, but it's showing its big spirit right now in the grandstands. Either way, it's time for another fantastic weekend of Grand Prix racing. The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With the need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. Let the weekend begin!
Great to see you again. Welcome to your first race weekend with the team. It's Friday, so we're kicking off with free practice 1 as usual.
So of course, starting off with practice 1, although they're not going to let me actually do it, which is probably for the best because this video would be over 2 hours long if I actually did the practice. So yeah, we're probably throughout this series probably just going to be simulating it, the practice sessions. But here I'm adjusting the setup, thinking about what I want to give to my drivers to maybe like help them in the corners, help them on the straights. I think I am going to go for a bit of a higher downforce setup because it's definitely our car is the best in a straight line, so they don't really need the high low downforce to make them speedy in a straight line. But here we are simulating the practice sessions.
Welcome back to what is proving to be an exciting weekend of Formula One action, with practice having finished and qualifying set to follow. Drivers will have to demonstrate remarkable consistency as they progress through qualifying. Those at the very top of their game will be looking to lay down a lap time that sets them apart from their competitors. Sometimes that's a mere fraction of a second. Strap yourselves in. This is Formula One.
Yes, Crofty, we already knew what sport this was, but there are the practice 3 results. Obviously, Max Verstappen is the best, so therefore he is top of the charts. But here we are in qualifying 1, and sending out Max Verstappen, we have a very nice cutscene, actually. I kind of like that cutscene. Very short, very nice cutscene. Anyway, so as Verstappen is coming out here, I'm not going to put out Perez because I don't want them to hold each other up, because I'm not really sure how the game mechanics work. Is like the car behind going to go faster, blah blah blah. But as he's coming out, you can see on Verstappen's control box or whatever, it's on automatic mode. So I go to check what manual mode is, and I actually thought I was going to drive the car, which is stupid. It just like helps you like manage the fuel and the pace and the ERS. So yeah, that's understandable. I don't know why I thought I was going to be driving a car in F1 Manager. But yeah, so we turn that on, and now we are met with many decisions. And I'm thinking about pushing on this first lap and like just draining the fuel, but I'm not really sure how quickly the fuel drains, and I don't want to have to put it back in a balanced or conserve on the flying lap. So yeah, we're just gonna leave it as conserve right now, and I think we're gonna go to balanced for the flying lap. So quick tidbit of information on F1 Manager. Pace controls the tire wear, fuel controls the fuel, obviously, and ERS controls the ERS, obviously. So, yeah, there's also multiple windows about what you can pick, and like you can tell your driver to not overtake your teammate, his teammate, or you can tell your driver to, you know, like avoid the curbs because the tires are getting too hot, or driving clean air. It's very complicated, very detail-oriented. I really like it. So first impressions on the game so far, without having done our flying lap yet, is it's actually really good. So I am not really knowing what to do here, so I guess I'll put it into balance. I put it into balance a little bit late, and then I have to go over and see, we got to put that into deploy, which is the fastest. And in the race, there's actually one more ERS mode, which is defend. So that's actually very helpful. We have overtake, defend, deploy, neutral, and harvest. Overtake, deploy, and defend all use up the same amount of battery, but they're used for different purposes, and deploy is what you would use on a qualifying lap. So I put it into deploy, and hopefully we can still make it through into Q2 on this first lap, because it doesn't give you enough tires to do 2 runs every single time, as normal F1 doesn't. So we're gonna have to use used tires at some point. God, that's a real tongue twister. Use used tires. Anyway, going into the middle sector of our flying lap with Max Verstappen, I just noticed I'm still in automatic mode for Sergio Perez, so we put him into manual mode, and watching him on the minimap, he is coming round, approaching the final corner now, well, soon. So we're going to put him up into max performance, except for fuel, because I still don't really know. But yeah, I learned later on that you probably could put it into push mode on fuel, and you would be okay for the one flying lap. So yeah, that would have been good to know at the start. but I didn't watch any YouTube videos on it, so I guess that's my fault. But Verstappen coming to the end of his flying lap and opening the DRS up to the line. It is, what is it? 131.3. I don't know if that's good for these cars or not, because there are some odd lines that they're taking. So, yeah, we'll see if that holds up. Magnussen goes 2.2 seconds slower than us, so yeah, he shouldn't be much to worry about. But Perez here gets held up a little bit, and that's an interesting mechanic that they have in this game where if a car is like slightly close to you, the car passing will lift off a little bit, like just out of like being cautious. As you can see, that's the weird line I was talking about. It's very odd the way the cars turn in. It's literally just like all or nothing. And it's like very late, very sudden turn in. That corner is fine. That corner is very good, actually. They did that one well. But, yeah, we're going to keep him pushing. We're just getting ready to put the tire on to conserve, because I think we might have to use this tire again. And it's coming out the final corner. Up to the line, DRS open. It is second, and it's 1 second slower than Max Verstappen. So I think Verstappen is okay for Q1, but I don't think Perez is. So we're going to send him out again, but on the same tires, just to see if he can improve because of the track evolution. Which actually I didn't know at the time, but track rubber and track grip are displayed at the top right. So track evolution wasn't really actually a thing when I put him out on the track for his second run rather than his first run. So yeah, not really expecting this lap to be that much faster unless we get like a slipstream and somehow don't get held up. But going into the first corner, we have already gotten held up by an AlphaTauri. Thanks, man. Really helping out the senior Red Bull team there with a nice block going into turn 1, 2, and 3. So we can try, I think, gotta try and recover from it at least. But as you can see, our tire temps are off the charts. We're in the orange right now. Going back to the yellow for a second, but for the most part, we are in the orange, which is very, very bad. So I'm thinking about putting it into a avoid the curbs, but like that's gonna just destroy his lap time. So I think we have to take our chances on the hot tires. And going into the third sector now, Q1, less than 2 minutes to go. We are not going to get another lap after this because there's a specific program that you have to do, and I picked 1 lap. So he's automatically going to come into the pits at the end of his in-lap, the lap after this one. So yeah, he's not getting another opportunity. So going through the final corner, he really needs to make the most of this one. Up to the line, DRS is open. What is it going to be? It's not actually an improvement. He stays sixth. I don't know. Sixth, I guess. But as you can see, we're speeding up time. People are going faster. Perez down to 9th position, but fortunately, he is not out, so he goes all the way down to 10th, but he just barely manages to stay in the safe zone by 5 positions, but not really by that much time, so yeah. Thankfully, both our cars make it through, of course. Neither of them were the fastest time, but that doesn't matter in Q1. Just make it through in Q1. And so we're looking at his setup. We're looking at Perez's setup, thinking about anything we can change. And thinking about front wing change, not really. We're just going to leave it where it was at 5.5, or 5.0 actually was where it was. And hopefully he can do a little bit better in qualifying too. This tutorial lady is so annoying. She pops up in like every position that you don't want her to. Later in the video, there's a battle going on. She's like, "This is how you manage your ERS." I don't care. Just let me drive. They manage the car. I'm not used to saying manage yet. Anyway, so the start of Q2, we're gonna cut to the start of Perez's flying lap, and here we go. Need to do well on this lap because this is actually a lap on used tires. This is our banker lap. Banker laps are quite important actually, but this is a lap on the Q1 tires that we actually used. So yeah, we really need to try and make the most of what we're doing here with these tires, and maybe we can almost save maybe one for the race. And yeah, I don't know that that's going to happen because Q3 is probably going to need 2 brand new sets, but nonetheless, Perez goes P2, 9/10 off of Leclerc in first place, but that's just his banker, so that's okay. We're going to be doing just one run with Verstappen, and this is it. As we cut to Checo on his out lap, and hopefully he can get a decent exit because he needs a good time to put him near the top of the timing sheets to get through into Q3, which we do need to do so we can get that big payout from our sponsors and not lose money. So hopefully actually we don't get held up by this Alpine on entry of the final corner, and luckily we don't. Going into the final corner, probably not the best line we could have taken from Checo, but nonetheless, he's on his lap now, and Verstappen has been held up by the Haas. He's been held up going into the middle sector, and hopefully he can try and recover, but I don't know that we're going to get past this Haas. At least we're getting slipstream down the straights, but I think he's on a flying lap as well. So I don't know that we're really going to get past him, and we're not. He is on a flying lap, so we're just going to get held up for the rest of the lap now, as we can't get past him. I mean, he's literally a mobile chicane. This is very, very bad. This is giving me a lot of doubts over whether I should have probably just made Verstappen go out twice. But we will know once we get through to the final corner, up to the line, DRS open. At least we're getting a little slipstream, but he's kind of messed it up. And thank goodness we go P4. And yeah, we should be okay with Verstappen. But Perez is a different story, as he is only 4/10 away from the danger zone. And we really, really need to get a good time with him, or it could be curtains for his qualifying. Coming through the final corner, up to the line, DRS open, and what is it? It is P2. He's 5/10 off of Leclerc, and that is definitely enough to get him through into Q3. As again, Leclerc leading the session, but it's not Q2 that matters, it's Q3. So let's go on to Q3. As you can see, we're fitting the brand new tires, which they actually do give you an extra set for Q3, which is nice. So hopefully we can use that to its best potential, as now we see Checo exiting the pit lane. And I do believe he has 2 new sets of tires to use as well. If he doesn't, though, we're just going to put the old ones on his banker and the new ones on his late Q3 lap. But we didn't need to show the banker because everyone knows that's kind of boring. But so this is Checo's final run of the day. Hopefully he can do well, get maybe on the front row, maybe second row, hopefully at least third. But we're going to send Verstappen out as well. And yeah, here he is going out of the pit lane now. And Checo is, we're hopefully going to have enough fuel to maybe have him push for a little bit. But cutting to the start of Checo's flying lap, and Verstappen's still on his out lap. But we're going to actually put his fuel on balanced so he doesn't get too much fuel and become too heavy, and balance doesn't burn enough of the fuel. So we're going to put it on balance to try and modulate how heavy the car is. And now as he's going through the final two corners, well, final three corners, because that little kink at the end of the lap is apparently a corner. But coming up to the final penultimate corner, going into it now to the final corner, and we're going to put it on attack and deploy, balance fuel mode, and let's see what Max can do on his final run of the day. Now, going into turn one, braking nice and late, hopefully. Getting not really the best track out, but here is Sergio getting held up by the Ferrari master plan, holding up the Red Bull and not allowing him to get a good lap in. That is okay though. We're still gonna beat them. Come on, Checo. You can do this. Going up to the final two corners. I didn't forget this time. Braking nice and late, turning in early, getting out to the curbing. This is it. We put him on push for the last couple corners. And what is it? It's it's not P1, it's not P2, but it is P3. Which I don't know that we're really gonna be able to hold on to. But nonetheless, Verstappen into the final sector, going through the third to last corner. But yeah, it's unfortunate that Perez could only manage P3, because I think once the Ferraris come through, they are going to beat his time. So yeah, not the greatest qualifying from Perez, but Verstappen is not done. He is coming up to the line now. What is he going to do? He's going to improve his time at the top of the timetables and increase his gap to second place to over half a second. And crossing my fingers, knock on wood, that should be enough for pole position. As, yeah, it says session end, which I guess it is because the timing screens, but then it automatically puts you back into one time speed. I tried to fast forward in another race in F1 Manager, and as soon as the session ended, it put me back into default speed, which I guess is fair, but most of the people hadn't finished their lap yet, so I don't know, maybe that would be something to fix. You put it back into one speed when there's 2 cars left to cross the line or something. Anyway, as you can see, Verstappen is indeed on pole position for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and hopefully we can do well from pole position, because yeah, we definitely need to start off this season with a win to prove that I am a better team manager than Christian Horner, because that pesky double DNF. But yeah, let's see what we can do in our first ever race at Bahrain. Let's do it.
Tension continues to build here as race day begins.
It was a pleasure to watch Red Bull's excellent performance during qualifying. Their drivers will now be looking ahead to the race itself and hoping to capitalize. We saw a reasonable push from Mercedes in qualifying, and they'll have plenty of opportunities here to achieve a great result. The sky tonight is mostly clear, with only a few clouds, Nothing to worry about for now, but let's see how the situation unfolds.
And there's going to be a lot for the teams to handle. So will the drivers and their cars be able to cope with the pressure? Let's find out right here at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
So now it's time for us to figure out our strategies for Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. And hopefully those are the strategies that can get us the race win and second place. So for Max Verstappen, I think I'm going to go with a one-stop strategy. Try and, stretch the tires. Not going to be the fastest car on track at all times, but we will probably be in the lead for the most amount of time, and hopefully we're in the lead for the last lap. So, yeah, I think for Perez, I think I'm going to go a little bit more aggressive, but I didn't really like any of these strategies. So, there are the tire strategies for our drivers, and if you can tell, Perez has little orange dots, which means the target speed for his stints are faster because, two-stop, less tire wear. But let's go on to the race.
A partly clear night here. The drivers now lined up on the grid. Taking a look at Max Verstappen. P1 today. Let's see if they can take advantage of that position. And behind them, it's Perez. They're in the front half of the pack, so there's plenty of potential for them. The teams are ready to go. Here we go with the Bahrain Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
And there we go, off the 5 red lights. Verstappen gets a good start up into the lead of the race, holding it into turn 1. Leclerc can't make a fight for it just yet. But, yeah, it's a long race, so we'll see what we can do. But already I'm going to put Verstappen's overtake mode into deploy and Perez's into overtake. Because, Perez really needs to make up some positions. Because he's actually gotten overtaken by Pierre Gasly. So, clearly AlphaTauri really just hate their sister team. Which I guess is fair. But, yeah, he really needs to get a move on if he wants to make up positions. Because now is the time to make up positions, obviously. Because look how close they all are. But hopefully he can make up some positions quickly and maybe get in the fight for a podium. As you can see, I did underfuel the cars because I thought, yeah, why the heck not? We can just save the fuel very well later on in the race. But actually, as you can see, the fuel is we're actually like gaining fuel. Like we're gonna be above the negative in fuel terms quickly, and not because I had to put it in conserve or anything. So there you go. It actually is true that the pace thing does affect fuel. So the the more you want your driver to push using the pace stat, the more fuel he does burn. But there is Checo getting past Pierre Gasly, and George Russell is the next person that he needs to get, which hopefully he can do quickly, but right now he's actually going defensive from Gasly, which I don't know why. He was kind of at no man's land there for a couple seconds. But as you can see, Perez is already under 1.0 fuel. And going on to lap 3, he has gotten past Russell and Bottas, and he is on the back of Lewis Hamilton, as he's going to go for the move on the straight, on the inside, and he's got the move done very easily. And we're going to put him into harvest mode now, because he does need to make up some of his ERS, but then as soon as we get out of that corner, we're going to put him into neutral, just as we have for Verstappen. And for some reason, Verstappen's actually started to lose fuel, so we are going to have to put him into conserve at some point. But, yeah, Hamilton almost came back at us, but he wasn't able to. And we go on to the pit stop for Perez, which actually, it's nice because it stops the time and we're able to pick whatever we want. So I pick the hard tires because I'm just going to go with his strategy. As you can see, we are at the optimal pit stop lap. And as you can see up there, Leclerc has overtaken Verstappen for the lead. Can Verstappen get him back into this corner? No, he cannot. But this battle is far from over. Verstappen definitely can come back at him. Even though Leclerc is on the softs, they are starting to go off now. But, yeah, Perez has started to lose some of his fuel, so we do need to put him into conserve. So, yeah, hopefully we can gain back that fuel quickly, efficiently, and then we can get back to doing what we do best, which is absolutely destroying the competition. And good strategy, which Ferrari does not have. So, yeah. As you can see, position gained. Verstappen has been radioed that he's gained a position, and Verstappen is up into the lead of the race. And he does actually have fastest lap, which is actually very surprising because of how many drivers there are that are on softs right now. But, hey, it's Formula One. Stranger things have happened. But, yeah, so Perez is coming into the pits at the end of this lap and is going to go onto the hard compound tire. And as you can see, we are gaining back his fuel, but not as quickly as I would have liked. We're probably going to have to leave it in conserve for at least another 2 laps if we want to stay on this max push setting, which I don't know that we do, actually, because I don't know how bad the tire wear is going to be on the hards yet. I was pushing because we had a lot of, our projected tire wear was actually a lot worse than what actually happened. What was actually happening. So I put him into push to try and use up some of those tires and try and get some pace. But yeah, I'm not sure that it's going to be the same with the hards. Like, maybe we can't push without wearing out the tires too much. So I think we are going to put Perez into more of a relaxed pace setting. As you can see, Albon locks up. I did click that replay because I wanted to see what it was like, and clearly the team is devastated by this lockup. They are just, this race is over. It is, oh no, it's terrible. But no safety car, no virtual safety car, and the race continues on, and Albon is still in the race, although he is in P18, which I think he was like in P16 before. He's really fighting over the wooden spoon at this point. But cutting on to lap 26, which is actually the optimal pit stop lap for Verstappen. So we're going to agree to that, pit him onto hards, pitting this lap, and Verstappen will be in at the end of this lap. And as you can see, his strategy for Perez, tire wear is not too bad. We're going to be a little bit over the projected tire wear. So I think we can have him push a little bit. But at the moment, we still have him in conserve to try and get the fuel back. Albeit I did go into push for, I think, 2 laps. We've had him in conserve for most of the time. As you can see, we're still negative in fuel. But, yeah, Verstappen is not, and I think we should be putting him into push because, he doesn't really have much left in this tire stint, so he might as well just use up all the tires. Leclerc is 22.7 seconds behind, which is, I do believe, less than what you need for a pit stop. I believe a pit stop on this game is around 25 seconds, around Bahrain. So, yeah, Leclerc should be probably ahead of us coming out of the pits. But you never know. Pit stop times fluctuate. Drivers make mistakes. So let's see what happens as he's going into the pits now. And hopefully we can get a decent time on decent pit stop time on the board. And now that Checo is finally positive in fuel, we can put him into balanced and not have to worry about, losing time because we're on conserve. But here comes Verstappen out of the pits. You just saw Leclerc in the background there. And is he there? I'm trying to catch a glimpse of him as we're going out of the pits. And there is Leclerc. And are we going to get out ahead of him? Just barely. We will. And that is pretty much done and dusted, unless Verstappen makes a terrible mistake or something. But they probably will battle. But we are a pit stop ahead of Leclerc, so yeah, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. But going on to lap 37 now, we're still getting pressurized by Leclerc. Is it Leclerc? Is it Leclerc? I don't know. I'm just gonna say both from now on. And this is what I was talking about. We're in a battle. I don't care about car condition. I was already on that. Anyway, Leclerc coming at us. Can he make the move? Not quite. He got close, but not close enough. And for now, Verstappen still able to keep the lead. But he does have some overheating problems, so we are going to tell him to avoid curbs for maybe 1 or 2 laps to try and get those tire temps back under control. And once they are under control, he can start using curbs again. But this will kind of derail his lap time, but that's okay. And this is me trying to get a good view of him hitting curbs or not, which this is not the best corner to do it because they never hit curbs on this one anyway. But Leclerc still super close in the mirrors, unable to go for a move on that last straight. But let's see him possibly going for a move on this final straight right here, as we're going to put Verstappen up into aggressive and push, and we're going to try and make up for the tires overheating by getting him some decent acceleration and pace, as we're fiddling around with our settings. And he is okay, so we are turning off avoid curbs. But there goes Leclerc down the inside, and yeah, that could be done and dusted because he is on the medium tires. But this is Max Verstappen. He never lets a move he never lets someone past him without at least giving him a fight for it. And here he comes down the inside on the second straight into turn 4, using all of that curb because he hasn't used it in a while and just liked the feeling of it, I guess. But that Leclerc never got past him again. But we do need to now pit Perez, as yeah, we kind of left him out a little bit too long. I was trying to maybe see oh, can we get him to push really, really hard for the final laps and catch up to Leclerc. But unfortunately, it was just too slow on the hards, and I think P3 is the best we're going to be able to get today with Leclerc, with Perez, I mean. Oh, if Leclerc was in P3, that would be a dream. But hopefully we can get fastest lap at least with Perez, as he's exiting the pit lane now on the brand new softs, and I do believe we are going to put him into push for this entire stint because, yeah, new tires. He already was in push, so. But we are going to put him into balanced fuel mode because he does have plus 1.3 laps. So hopefully we can take advantage of that, get fastest lap. As you can see, our hard tires weren't that bad, but we just made him go so much longer. But yeah, so going on to lap 54, Verstappen is really complaining about his tires. They are in the danger zone now. So we put him on low pace and just trying to manage the tire wear as best we can. Perez still going on balanced fuel and full pace, attack pace I believe is what it's called. But yeah, he is losing fuel rapidly, so we probably are going to have to put him into conservative unless he gets hold of a lap car and kind of gets slowed up a little bit. Then I think we don't have to put it in, but don't have to put it in conserve. But we're actually not really losing fuel with Checo or either Checo or Verstappen. So I don't know. Maybe we can just keep it like this, even though I don't believe there are back markers anywhere near Checo. As you can see on the mini-map there, he is all alone in no man's land. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's something with the car getting lighter, maybe short shifting. I don't know. But, now I'm trying to speed it up a little bit, and I accidentally clicked the pause button, so apologies for that. But, there we go. Now I got it sped up, because nothing's really happening, and this was my second attempt at doing this race, because the first time there was a virtual safety car, and my controller glitched, and I was not able to control anything, and it just so happened that I had both of my guys in conserve pace and conserve fuel, so yeah, we just, like, first and third like we were now, but we just dropped down the order. Yeah, and it was just like, I didn't really think that was fair, so I had to restart the race. So yeah, at this point on the pit wall, I almost said in the cockpit for some reason, at this point on the pit wall I'm getting a little bit frustrated, so we are just going to speed it up a little bit. But this is the penultimate lap of the race. We're clicking onto mini-map now. As we can see, there's Perez going into turn 1 now, and Verstappen gaining on some back markers. But since we put him on low pace, I don't know that he's actually going to catch the back markers. They are like 2 seconds ahead of him, so he's not going to have DRS to help him catch them. But you never know. It's Max Verstappen. He might just completely ignore the instructions that they gave him and just like, nah, I'm going full blow pace. Just go, 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 go. But yeah, it is looking good for Red Bull race win today, as it's 1 lap to go as we going through the final 2 corners. Going through the penultimate corner and then the final corner, tisk tisk. And DRS not open. I almost said DRS open. But here is the final lap for Verstappen. Leclerc is 13 seconds behind, and I don't think that is... I don't think Leclerc is going to catch that up. And here we go for Perez now. He is just crossed the line now to start his final lap, and going into turn 1, I don't know that he's within range of anyone to overtake. He's 14 seconds behind Leclerc and 10 seconds ahead of Carlos Sainz, which we haven't really seen much of in this race. But I assure you he will be more prominent next race in Jeddah, so stay tuned for that one. But we don't... Oh no, what, a driver locked up. Uh-oh, oh no. Oh, Perez has lost a lot of time. Oh no, we're gonna watch the replay. What happened, Checo? Come on, it was the last lap. You didn't need to... Oh, goodness me. He just completely lost it, went straight on, and then I don't know what happened there. But it doesn't seem like he's lost any positions. He's somehow only lost 3 seconds there. But yeah, Sainz still 7 seconds behind. So it seems like it will be third for Checo, but that is not what we are worried about. The man of the hour is Max Verstappen. He wins the Bahrain Grand Prix and gives Red Bull a near perfect start to the season. As we cut on to Checo going into the final 2 corners. Would have been nice to not have that lockup, but it didn't end up costing him anything. He has fastest lap. He is in third. So this is a near perfect start to the season for Red Bull. And Verstappen leads the drivers. Red Bull leads the constructors. I can't really think of any other way that this race could have turned out better. Other than a 1-2, of course.
Max Verstappen was flying on the track this weekend, and this result says it all. podium is a true recognition of everyone who's been working so hard for this result. And no doubt, Verstappen fans will be celebrating the Dutchman's achievement. A lovely occasion as we see all three drivers clearly relishing their moment on the podium. And what a finish Red Bull had today.
They do say success breeds success, and I'm sure the team will be hoping that holds true.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in first place in the constructors' standings.
The teams now look ahead to the next round, where they'll duel it out in the sand dunes of Saudi Arabia.
That is my first race on F1 Manager in the books. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy, like and subscribe, and keep following this series for more content pretty much just like this. But that's all from me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Goodbye.